Hi you two, happy Friday, PE time now. I would like you to write today's date and skill into your catch-up book. Today's date is Friday, the 15th of January 2021, and your skill is to create a routine of movement. So if you could write your date and your skill into your book and then unpause the video when you're ready to begin today's PE lesson. Okay. Last week then, we created a list of movements that require jumping. Before we go through some of those movements that we spoke about last week, I would like you to turn to your talk partner or discuss with your grown-up at home or have a little think on your own. What were those movements that require jumping that we came up with? How many can you remember? Off you go. Okay, let's see how many you came up with then. We have bunny hops, star jumps, 1 foot hop, skipping, springs, and gallops. They are all movements that require jumping. Okay. Today then, you are going to choose movements to create a circuit. Can anyone remember what a circuit is? Turn to the person next to you or talk to your grown-up at home. What is a circuit? How could we describe what a circuit is? Okay, let's see then. A circuit is a group of movements performed one after the other. So if we were thinking about our movements that require jumping then, we might have star jumps, followed by gallops, followed by bunny hops, for example. So it is a group of movements performed one after the other. When you're creating a circuit, you need to remember two things. You need to choose the movements, and you also need to choose how many times you're going to repeat that movement. So for example, if you pick star jumps, you've chosen the movement, and then you need to choose how many times you're going to do a star jump. So you might do 5 star jumps, you might do 10 star jumps, depending on how challenging you want to make your circuit. Let's have a look then at an example of a circuit. So this is the first example. We've got 10 star jumps, 15 gallops, 10 1-foot hops, 1 minute of skipping, 10 springs and 20 bunny hops. So this is circuit number 1. Then we've got circuit number 2, which is slightly different. We've got 10 gallops, 20 1-foot hops, 15 star jumps, 30 seconds of skipping, 8 springs and 7 bunny hops. So we've got 2 different circuits here. We've got one movement after the other, and we have got a different number of repetitions of that movement. Okay. Let's have a look then at these circuits. So we've got circuit number 1 and circuit number 2 from the previous slide. And I would like you to think, which circuit do you prefer and why? So look really carefully at circuit number 1. Really carefully at circuit number 2. Which one do you think you'd prefer to do? Okay, put your hand up if you think you prefer circuit number 1. Okay, and put your hand up if you think you'd prefer to do circuit number 2. Okay, now I would like you to try both of these circuits or the one you prefer, it's up to you. And you need to remember 2 things. You need to remember to ask your adult if it's okay for you to try these circuits. And the second thing, you need to make sure you check how much space you have. You don't want to be doing any star jumps next to anything that you might end up hurting yourself or hurting someone else by accident. So I would now like you to pause the video and have a go doing these circuits. Off you go. Okay, if you tried both then, which did you actually prefer and why? Tell the person next to you, tell your grown up at home. Okay. Your task for today then, now you've practiced all those different types of movements and practiced those circuits, the examples of the circuits, you're going to write your own circuit into your catch-up book underneath today's date and today's skill. Remember, you need to choose which movement you're going to do, and I would like you to aim to include at least 5 of the movements that require jumping. And how many repetitions of the movement will you do? So for example, will you do 20 star jumps, will you do 5 star jumps? And obviously the more repetitions you'll do of it, the more tricky your circuit will be. I would also like you, if possible, to send via Discord or over email to send us a picture of your circuit so that we can have a go next week. So here's just a little reminder. of some of those movements that require jumping that you will include in your circuit. So remember we've got springs, star jumps, bunny hops, 1 foot hop, gallops and skipping. So I'd now like you to write your circuit. Once you have written your circuit, I'd like you to reread it to make sure that you've got at least 5 moves in there and that you've remembered to include how many repetitions you're going to use. And then I would like you, if possible, to send us a picture in ready for our PE lesson next week. Okay, have a lovely weekend, year 2. Well done for all your hard work with all of your learning this week, and thank you so much to your adults for sending in photos of your brilliant learning as well. We've loved seeing all of your lovely home learning and how hard you're working. Have a lovely weekend. Goodbye.